Well, hello there. My name is Captain Crush. I'm going to be your host for the next 15, maybe 20 minutes. So take your favorite snack, grab a Red Bull, settle in, because what I'm going to do is break down this NBA game tonight, this epic Game 3, which will be taking place in South Beach, Miami, baby. And we will try to find value and make it so you crush. What do I do here? I go over PrizePicks, Sleeper, Underdog, all the fantasy sites, including DraftKings, coming soon, and I will make you a better player. That is my goal. I teach you the process, I give you the winning tools, and process will give you good results eventually. That being said, let's take a look at this spread. We got Denver Nuggets -3, over under 214.5, Miami Heat +3. Facts and folks, we are getting the home team at +3. Okay, likely Denver can come out here and smash at any time. They're the better team overall. There's no doubt about it. Last game, Miami stole one. I'm 305 for life. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and recommend Miami Heat +3. I imagine this line is going to move, so I would take it at +3. And if you really want to roll the dice like CC does, you could take money line on Miami Heat +130. Whenever you're going to get the home team at +130, I don't even care if it said Charlotte Hornets, I'm going to take it. Correct play would be Miami Heat +3 if you're a 305 for life. Take your emotions out of it, and let's hope we get a close game that produces a lot of fantasy points. That is what you and me want. Okay, so I want to go ahead and take a minute. Look at this nice, sexy purple. I want to go ahead and take a minute and talk about Sleeper Fantasy. Folks, yesterday, it wasn't that great of a day for Sleeper. We had one chalk, and that was our anchor. It was Bieber. He Justin Bieber'd us, but it's okay. We bounced back. Listen, they're giving us a free square today. I did a video on this yesterday. Jimmy Butler, more than half a point. Folks, he's going to score a point. It's an absolute free square. You can mix and match. You can take Joker, more. 50.5 points, rebounds, assists. This is 51 on PrizePicks and Underdog, so you're getting it at a discount. You can pair it with that. If they bring back the Joker double-double, you can pair it with that. Max Struss, higher, 1.5 assists. Duncan Robinson, higher, 1.5 3-pointers. And Jimmy Butler, if you already used the free square, I also like his more 6.5 assists. On top of that, you can take Jeff Green, the volatile monster, lower than 1.5 rebounds. Okay? Use promo code CRUSH. They will match your first deposit up to 100. Min deposit 20, and guess what? The cap, me, you, get a golden ticket into my Discord where everybody eats. I promise you, I'm not selling it to you. I don't sell it. I don't market. I don't advertise. Ask the community. They're my biggest marketing I could give you. Now we will go to the main event, what you, me, and the rest of the soldiers have been waiting for. The king daddy of them all. PrizePicks, where the board is large and the value is slim. We will try to dig into this dumpster and see what we can find. Side note for my soldiers that know, but those of you that are new, I do have some hot takes. I do have some cold takes. But at the end of the day, I will always keep it 100 with you, win, lose, or draw. And I'm telling you right now, same game parlays are insanely hard. So you need to keep that in mind. So if you can, the ideal scenario would be a 5 flex. Those are the most optimal. I preach this every day. Just ask my Discord. Every single day, 5 flex. That's your bread and butter. You should have 2 anchors, and you should have an anchor in NBA, maybe 1 or 2, and then maybe an MLB, and then throw in some WNBA. So what I will cover here first is Game 3 NBA, and I will throw in some WNBA. You can get MLB from a lot of places. I recommend Dr. Profit, who, side note, him and I are going to be collaborating and doing a video. We will be filming it tomorrow, and hopefully I will release it tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted on that, but it should be a banger. Yes, a banger. So let's break this puppy down. Nikola Jokic, 60 fantasy points. If you told me last game that Joker had 40 near points and he didn't get his fantasy score, I would have lulled. Point blank, period. It's unfathomable how Joker scored that many real points. He didn't cover his fantasy score last game, and they got the L. But his loss is our gain. It extends the series, number 1, and number 2. Now his fantasy score is deflated back down to 60. Let's go. The man has an 80 60-point ceiling. I've been saying this all playoff series long, and if you think that the last game that he didn't have a cover is going to scare the captain away, let me tell you something. You don't know me. Recency bias, it's for the birds. We don't talk about it. We don't think about it. Whatever happened yesterday, remove it from your mind. We move on. Nikola Jokic, 60 fantasy points more. If he sells, he sells. But I will take the discount because this should 100% be at 63. So at 60, give it to me. And twice on Sunday. Now, I will go over to my handy dandy notepad because some of you could sit there and say, well, Cap, you're pulling that number out of thin air. Where do you get more on 60? Well, let's break it down. Here we go. Joker averages 1.59 fantasy points over the last 5 games, which is important because we're in a playoff scenario and now we're in the NBA Finals. He's probably going to play 40 minutes. Let's just say he plays 41 minutes. Now, granted, blowouts could happen. It's a 3-point spread. I'm not expecting a blowout. This should be a juggernaut game, okay? If a blowout happens either way, we're chalk. That's just how this goes. So miss me with the blowout scared tactic, okay? I ain't scared. You shouldn't be either. This is for men and women who have strong spirits and courage. Joker is averaging 1.59 fantasy points per minute. If he plays 41 minutes, he gets 65 fantasy points right here. It's on the calculator, free of charge for everyone, google.com calculator. I showed you the math. I'm adding in my own perception, the narrative that they just got embarrassed at home, and I'm just taking it, okay? Like I said, I'm prepared to take an L here. I don't care. Next, we're going to talk about Jimmy Butler. Now, here's the deal with Jimmy Butler. I had him over last game, had him over the game before, and I ate my L, and I ate it proudly. I'm not sure what's going on here. 38 fantasy points, 36 fantasy points. I actually do know what's going on here. His role has changed. He's no longer having to be the guy that's carrying the team. He's getting support from Bam Adebayo. He's getting support from Duncan Robinson, making some clutch shots. He's getting Gabe Vincent helping out. Max Struss was on fire the first quarter last game. He's just getting help. So his role now has switched from Jimmy carry the team to Jimmy distribute, Jimmy facilitate, and Jimmy play defense. So do I like his fantasy score at 49 points in a vacuum? Absolutely, I would take more. But today, I'm either going to take less or fade the prop. So it would look like this. But however, I'm going to say this because this will happen. He's at home, and you better believe that the man has a 60-point ceiling. He can literally come out tonight. Could be tonight, could be tomorrow, whatever other day they play. And he could literally drop a 60 burger, and I wouldn't blink because it's absolutely in the range of outcomes. But for tonight, this is your mission. Fade the prop or take less. And if you really have heart and you say, Cap, I'm 305 for life, sign me up, just go ahead and take more. And I'll give you a tip, a salute, and I'll say, man, he's got stones. All right, let's move on. The man that sold everyone last game, Jamal Murray, he sold everyone, myself included on the fantasy points, but I did have his real points and I did cash that bag. But 44 fantasy points, what do we do here? I believe it was at 42 on Underdog. This is an inflated line for Mr. Murray. I've always told you guys his line should be around 45, but after last game, I was expecting a little bit less of a discount here, and PrizePicks was like, we ain't doing it. So we're looking at 44, and as you can see, 39 fantasy points last game. He kind of got shut down in the fourth. 48 fantasy points the game before that, and then the Lakers series, I'm not even going to go into that because it's not relevant to me. All I'm going to do is look at the fantasy points per minute, which is 1.30. So we're back to the calculator, fam. 1.30, and we're going to multiply it times 40 because he's going to play 40 minutes, and we get 52, okay? If he sells, he sells. This is the correct play. It stinks because he's coming off of a stinker game as far as fantasy points is concerned, but Jamal Murray can get this at any given time. If you want to take his first half fantasy score instead, since he's been disappearing the second half after they make defensive adjustments, I don't mind that at all, okay? His assist line should be at 5.5. They've moved it all the way up to 7, so I'm staying away, but I could absolutely see him getting right around 7 assists. But for Jamal Murray, I'm just going to take it and eat this 44 fantasy points. If he sells, he sells. He's probably the community darling today. I'm not 100%. I'll have to wait and see. Now we can move on to Gabe Vincent. What can I say about Gabe Vincent? 23.5 fantasy points. We're hitting more. Smash the more button, okay? This guy, I never seem to get right. 32 fantasy points last game, 30 before that. Luckily, I was on him. I had it. Here's the thing. My model always projects Mr. Vincent to go under. Every stinking time. His points, his PRA, his fantasy score, my model keeps telling me to take less. And if I do that, he always goes more. My model is smarter than me because it just analyzes the numbers and the data. But for me, being a person that's stepping into the mix, I will take a narrative play and I will take a decision play, and I'm just going to take more at 23.5 fantasy points because he has been picking up the slack for everyone else when they're slowing down. And if we go over here to my calculator and we take 0.78, which is his fantasy point per minute over the last 5 games, we multiply it times 35, we get 27.3, which would clear us. Okay, so let's just say he plays 30 minutes. He's going to get 23.4, which would be right around the number we're looking at. So hopefully he plays 31 minutes. If he can play 31 minutes, then we should be good. As you can see here on StatMuse, which is free for everyone for the first couple of searches, he played 32 minutes last game, 38 the game before. So like I said, if he plays 31, we should be good. If he plays 32 or more, we should be very good. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. I'm going against my model, but I'm telling you what my model says because I always do that with you guys. I keep it 100. I don't always agree with the model. The model is just projection. Next, Brucey Brown, 20.5 fantasy points. Model says take less. Captain says take less. Buyer beware. Seller beware. This can go wrong in a heartbeat. Bruce can come out and drain 3 threes in a New York minute and absolutely chalk every slip you have him in. But we don't play for that. We play correctly. 20.5 fantasy points. I will take less here. The math adds up. He hasn't been doing much on the fantasy end. He's always right around there, 20, 19. The game before, like I said, I don't count the Lakers. But if you can see here, his role in the Lakers game series was way more advanced than it has been now. He's always going to be right around the line. This is always going to be a sweat. So do not put this in your contest tonight unless you're totally fine and emotionally capable of handling a sweat. Last game, 20. Last game, 19. It's at 20.5. I'll be surprised if it doesn't get bumped down to 20, but this will be a sweat. I guarantee you this is going to be a sweat. Okay, so that is that. Aaron Gordon, he's at 26 over here. I wish he was at 24. I believe on Underdog he's at 24. He's actually been trending up, as you can see. 26.4, 27, and then the Laker, he had that smash game. I'm personally not going to go there. If you want to go there, I could say take less. I could say take more. It's literally 50-50, so I'm not going to include him. But Aaron Gordon, if his stat for fouls drops to 2, his fouls right now is 2.5, I would take more. I believe that's a good, profitable stat long term. If it drops to 2, you better believe that I will tell you and everyone else to take 2, because now we push it 2 and we win it 3. Right now, we don't have push equity, so let's hope it drops to 2. It's done it before, and we'll go from there. What can I say about Michael Porter Jr. other than the YouTube video from 2 days ago is sitting right now? I'm guaranteed 2x, and so will all of you be if you tailed. 4 of 5. The last leg, Michael Jordan. I almost said Michael Jordan. Can you believe that? This guy can't even lace Michael Jordan's boots. Michael Porter Jr., more 7.5 rebounds. The line has since been bumped down to 7, unfortunately, and we can see here, right here, he played 26 minutes last game and he had 6 rebounds. I'm not exactly sure why he played 26 minutes. I think it's because Christian Braun, however you say it. It looks like Braun, but I could swear the announcers were saying Brown. Christian Brown, okay? He had like a hot hand. He was crushing. He was doing it all, and I think that they ran with him because of that. As far as his fantasy points go, I believe the correct play would still be to be more. I don't want to overcorrect because of one bad game. I'm not going to tell you to take less. If you want to target MPJ, I would still take more, but for me, I'm just not going there. I have a contest with his rebound already at 7.5. I'm praying he gets 8 rebounds to cash me for 10x. Now we can talk about Big Bam Bigelow. I've been on his less for 38 fantasy points 2 games in a row, and I've been eating it 2 games in a row. That big L, it doesn't taste good. It tastes like chalk mixed with poison. It stinks, but I still think it's the right play. 38 fantasy points, I would still take less here, folks. He barely covered it last game, and he had a good game. The game before that, he crushed. Listen, if you want to take more and fade the captain, you can, but if me, I'm probably not going to have his fantasy score in any of my contests, but if I was, for you guys, less would be the move. I like other things for him, 18.5 real points being one of them. I like his over half of a block on sleeper. I like those things, but the fantasy score, the move is less. But again, I probably won't have it in my contest. Gonna go ahead and cover some other things real quick for you guys. All right. Max Struss, had him last time. cashed it. He came off a bad stinker. Everyone was afraid to be on him. Not the captain. Ask around. I preached to take it. He was due to bounce back. He shot 8 3-pointers or more last game and bricked them all. Nah, he's going to come back and crush. Tonight, he just had a killer game. I'm not sure if he can repeat that performance. It's just a fade. I know he's going to be a community darling, so I'm throwing that out there. Caldwell Pope, 9.5 real points. How many times did we see Joker pass it to Caldwell Pope out in the corner and he brick a 3? I saw it. You saw it. Murray tried to give him the dimes too. He couldn't buy a bucket. I would still take Pope more 1.5 threes. Probably going to fade his points prop, but it is in play. Jamal Murray, last game, his points was at 26.5. I told you to take less. Ask the Discord. They know I took less. We cashed it. But as you can see, it was an outlier game, but I felt it coming. He had 18 points. Game before that, 26. Game before that, 25. His points is sitting at 24.5. I still don't want to mess with it. I believe it's a 50-50 proposition. I like his fantasy score, but I'm not going there for the points. So that's my opinion on that. I'm going to cover this real quick. Jimmy Butler free throws less than 7. I think it's a little bit too high. Even the last 5 agrees with me. That's a joke. That doesn't mean anything. But for these free throw stats, he has to not only get fouled and get to the line, but then he has to make the free throw. I think less is the move. It's always the move. That's a lot of free throws. I'm taking less. Jimmy buckets, since he's been facilitating more and more lately, we can feel confident taking 6.5 assists. I pray that it was at 6.5, so we very well could get hooked because I could see him getting 5 to 6. Model has this going over. Vegas odds has it going over, but be careful. Last one I'm going to mention for NBA, Nikola Jokic, more 10 assists. Last game, outlier game, I was on this. It was 11. He had 4 assists. Now they moved it down all the way to 10. We get a discount. I still think more is the move. Last game when he scored all those points, they didn't win. That's not how the Nuggets win games. They need him to go back to facilitating everything, and hopefully Murray and crew and the rest of them make their shots. So now let's transition over to WNBA, where my hit rate for WNBA yesterday was absolutely insane. I told you yesterday, and I'm telling you again, I'm tooting and blowing my own horn because I worked my tail off sitting in this chair yesterday, sweating like a sieve, okay? Look it up. And I was literally sweating it out and grinding it out, making sure that my community ate. And you better believe that they did. Check my Twitter, look at the retweets. It was worth every drop of sweat, that is. So today we try to duplicate, we try to repeat. I try to go back to back. It's going to be hard. I'm up for the challenge, but I will see what I can do. All right, so for the YouTube, I'm going to give you guys 2 that I like. Sabrina Ionescu, less 6.5 rebounds. She hasn't been hitting this over this. You can see 6, 5, 6. She's always tailing right around 5 or 6. It's going to be a sweat just like it was last time. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a sweat, so be prepared. And the other one that's also going to be a sweat is going to be Jessica Shepard, less 4.5 assists. She's another one. She's always right there, right around 5 to 6 assists. Last game she covered, game before not, game before that 5, game before that 7. The move is still 4.5 less. If you want to take more and fade the cap because you look at the last 3 out of 4 she's been hitting, guess what? Go ahead and do that. I won't be upset. I could make a case for either, but my model, the math, less is the move. Those are my 2 WNBA plays. Let me see if I can throw in a bonus one for you. Okay. And in fact, if you don't want to touch the assist, I'm going to throw this in as a bonus. Last time, Jessica Shepard, I had her over on her fantasy score. Now it's 30.5 fantasy points. She put up a stinker last game, but let me tell you this, the first half she didn't show up. The second half, she literally showed up and she almost had a backdoor cover for us. It would have been glorious. So 30.5 fantasy points. If you want to fade the assist and go here and go more, I absolutely like it. I'll be doing that myself in a few. That is in play. Moving right along, we're going over to Underdog, boys, where the captain cooked up a little 2-piece McNugget for you. Yes, sir, 2-piece. Jordan Lyles, pick 'em, higher, 4 strikeouts. Jimmy buckets, lower, 7 rebounds. Look at here, look at this. Both of them have push equity. You'll love to see it. It's a little 2-man. I like it. You can insure these, but don't go crazy on this. It's just there. If you use promo code CRUSH, I'll give you a free month of Gold Discord. For new members, that deal applies, and you'll get your full deposit matched up to $100. Last thing that I'm going to cover today is Outlier Bet, because God knows they've been doing the Lord's work right alongside Captain Crush. We got the NBA, MLB, NHL, and WNBA. That's right. WNBA. I gave this a tweet, and it's no coincidence yesterday that my hit rate has been absolutely insane after yesterday's release of the WNBA. All the propositions that are out there are right here in a nice, neat, sexy format. It gives you the Vegas odds. It gives you the hit rates for the last 5, 10, 20, the head-to-head matchups. You can click their names and get even more detail. How many minutes they played, how many fouls, field goal attempts, three-point attempts. It gives you their current averages. You can literally check the matchup data right here. Injuries, they don't have any insights yet because it's too new, but you can, if you want those insights, those trends, you can go over to NBA right here. Here they are. My daily newspaper, my daily bread. It's right here. Okay, check it out. Use promo code CRUSH. A lot of people are saying, Cap, the promo code's not working. I can't find it. Email support, tell them Captain Crush sent you, and they will honor it, and you will get your 30 days free. You can take it to the bank. All right, so this is the last thing that I want to talk about, and this is my Discord. I want to give these guys a shout out because we're absolutely crushing. They are eating. It's just a fact. I'm not here to sell you on anything. A lot of people are doing a lot of hard work in here, myself included. We do live Discord discussions. I call them stage chats right here every day. Slip that we made yesterday, it cashed. It was a 5-man. We had one push and the other 4 hit, so it paid us 5x, but it cashed, okay? And as you can see here, it's nothing but green, and this isn't a faceless guy in the community that's offering you a Discord. This is me, the captain, the real captain. Don't go in anywhere unless it comes from me, because there are impersonators out there that I will get shut down, by the way, that are stealing from people, and I ain't having it. I won't allow it. That being said, I am the real one. Ask my community about me if you're not sure. I'm not trying to sell you guys on anything. It's a totally optional service for you there. If you guys want to take part, you can. It's just something that I offer. But as always, I will continue to provide the smoke and the heat on my YouTubes on a daily basis. That is my promise to you. So this is the end of the video. I hope we crush tonight. I hope we have a solid game, because we need a solid game. We need it to be a close game, because at the end of the day, give us our money worth. Win, lose, or draw, the captain gives you a salute. I appreciate you tuning in. Good luck tonight. And as always, let's crush.